Michael from Good Times may be recalled. This is his current appearance. The beloved television program, Good Times, which followed the lives of Florida and James Evans and their three children, Michael, Thelma, and James, is still fondly remembered by many fans. From 1974 to 1979, Ralph Carter played the youngest Evans child. Less well known is the fact that Ralph recorded two disco hits with his 1976 album, When You're Young and in Love, which was one of his releases. On Soul Train, he gave a legendary performance of his record, winning people over with his infectious smile. In addition, Carter received a Tony nomination for his performance in the Broadway production of Raisin. Yet Ralph never quite made headlines again after the popular television series Good Times, in which he starred alongside Janet Jackson, Esther Roll, and John Amos. The actor wed Lisa Parks in 1987. Together, they had two kids, James Carter and Michael. Sadly, Carter's marriage to River York ended in 1992, but he married her again a few years later in 1994. Together, they went on to have three children, a son named Phoenix and two daughters named Jessica and Vivica. Ralph never again succeeded in grabbing the public's interest, not in the same way that he had as a rising star. Ralph went on to sing in New York nightclubs in the 1980s after the show concluded in 1979. Carter was a playwright as well, but it's safe to say that he never enjoyed the same degree of success that Michael Evans did. He is said to live in New York and participate in regional theater productions. He also devotes a great deal of his time to community service, especially with the African American community. Ralph briefly relived his glory days in 2016 when he appeared on Steve Harvey's show in a reunion special alongside other Good Times cast members. The 57-year-old actor still leads a relatively quiet life away from the spotlight. At a recent award show, Jimmy Walker, Bernadette Stanis, and Ralph Carter, who portrayed the siblings on Good Times, were once again a happy family. On the purple carpet of the 2024 Urban One Honors, Best in Black, the three actors posed for pictures. This year's award show featured a commemoration of the legendary television program's 50th anniversary. The children of James, John Amos, and Florida, Esther Roll, Evans were portrayed by Walker, Stanis, and Carter. A video of the three on the carpet was shared by Atlanta Black star Walker, who portrayed James Jr., also known as JJ. The oldest sibling, was always beaming, fitting with his upbeat persona. He wore a traditional powder blue, double-breasted suit with a black tie, matching shoes, and a white button-up shirt. Thelma, the middle child and only daughter of the Evans clan, was portrayed by Stanis, who wore a sophisticated knee-length black dress with sheer arms, ankle-strapped heels, and silver accessories. Michael Carter was the whiz kid and the much-loved baby of the siblings. On the purple carpet, his red suit, matching hat, and elaborate wood-bead accessories made a statement. CBS debuted Good Times on February 8, 1974. Norman Lear developed the show, while Mike Evans and Eric Monti created it. The comedy show originated as a spin-off of Roll's role in the comedy series Maude on CBS. The Evans family told a realistic tale of a black family struggling to survive in the 1970s, set in Chicago's housing projects. Today is Ralph Carter's 54th birthday. Michael Evans, happy birthday. I'm grateful for all the #happy times you've shared. May 30, 2015, TV1 at TONIF. Because of its representation and complex characters, the series gained significance in black popular culture. Walker's well-known catchphrase, "Dynamite," became a mainstay in 1970s posters, slogans, and favorite. The actor revealed to People that Lear detested the term. He talked with the publication following the producer's passing in late 2023. He detested it right away. And we've always disagreed on that. Walker remarked, "To me, it didn't matter because all that mattered was that it would make people laugh." As the first African-American teenage girl on an American TV sitcom, Stanis's character was significant for women in the time, according to Atlanta Black star Thelma. Her persona possessed both intelligence and beauty. Stanis clarified that Roll was to blame for Thelma's non-traditional portrayal of a teenage girl on television in an interview with Get TV. She said that after telling Roll that she was bored by Thelma's sparse lines, the Spelman graduate began to support her. JJ, my son, has a lot to say. Michael, my son, has a lot to say. Roll stated, "I want my daughter to have a voice too," during a table reading. Michael, played by Carter, gained notoriety as the young, radical youth who uttered Black Power movement slogans. He was favored by the vocal activists of the 1970s because of his support for Black people. But as the program went on, the producers started to have second thoughts about Michael's thought-provoking ideas. Film and television critic Karen Burroughs Hansberry told Get TV that the character's progressive ideas were deliberately kept quiet. It's funny when an 8-year-old starts having militant thoughts. That is adorable. It's not as funny, though, when that person is 15 and old enough to support the militancy with some action, she added. After 6 seasons, Good Times came to an end on January 30, 1980. The sitcom is aired in syndication on multiple networks, including TV One. TV One and Clio TV will broadcast Urban One Honors on February 25 at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Carter brought Michael Evans into the world, whom JG dubbed the Militant Midget, due to his fervent advocacy of Black community activism in the 1970s. His persona reflected the aspirations of numerous youth in Chicago at the time who were impacted by the Black Power movement. His apparent pro-Blackness, despite being the youngest of the 3 TV show kids, may have been a concession to cast members who felt that the show lacked authenticity or needed a more socially conscious slant that could only be achieved by including Black writers on the team. After a while, Amos and Roll both left the show because Walker's character was always going for the joke, overshadowing the gravity of the issues raised. The reality is that there weren't any African American writers on the show when it originally launched, Amos stated. And some of the attitudes they had written made me think, we can't do this, we can't do that, both for my character and, to be honest, for some of the other characters as well. Historian and film/television critic Karen Burroughs Hansberry observed that Carter's character was deliberately retracted as he grew older. When an 8-year-old starts thinking in militant ways, that's funny. That is adorable. However, it's not as funny when that person is 15 and old enough to take some concrete action to support the militancy, she clarified. The lines that were supposed to go to him actually ended up going to a young Janet Jackson, whose Penny was younger and could get away with saying certain things at the time that Carter's character eventually outgrew as he grew older.